Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sci-Exploitation YouTube channel and our first tutorial, which is going to be about how to use Viggle AI to create animated characters for your story. In this case, the story is Sci-Exploitation's first sci-fi adventure film, Escape from Planet Omega 12. And before we dive in, I would just like to say check out our YouTube channel or subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as considering subscribing for free to the Christopher Moonlight Productions Substack. I also have a subscribe star, but I'm going to say go with the Substack if you like that format, which I do the best. Subscribe star is also good to support, but Substack you can support through there, or you can subscribe for free. And there's articles such as the problem with Justine Bateman's AI stance, which she was recently on Film Threat and had a lot of opinions about Hollywood and AI. Her opinions about Hollywood, I find I generally agree with, although she's not saying anything new. She's saying things that the rest of us have been saying for a long time, us independent filmmakers and fans of good storytelling in movies. So I have a little bit of a rebuttal, but there's also, discovering the world of Sci-Exploitation, which gives you a bit more information on why you might want to follow us. But for now, let's get started on this. I should also say, by the way, there is a Christopher Moonlight Productions YouTube channel, which I've had for a long time. Please subscribe there as well. But the Sci-Exploitation YouTube channel, which this will be the second video of, is going to be all things about Escape from Planet Omega 12, as well as other sci-fi stuff we do in the future. The idea is to kind of have a little bit more of a no-holds-barred take on science fiction in a world where everything's kind of tame. But you're here for this tutorial. So Viggle has just come out with their version 3. Their version 2 was pretty good. Their version 3 has a lot more flexibility. I'm still using it to essentially take footage of, say, which folder is it here? Isla, who is the actress that we did our performance capture with. She did the majority of what we'll be using for Escape from Planet Omega 12's animation. But we're also going to be using a lot from Mixamo. And if you're not familiar with Mixamo, it is, let's see if I can get it to work here. Yeah, refresh the page to make it work properly. So Mixamo essentially is an Adobe product that you can sign up for and use for free. There's a variety of 3D models, none of which are really anything that I can use on their own, but you can have an array of different characters that you can kind of put in there, and then they have all these different animations. So if you want the animation to be this or a little dance, and you can get it at any angle. And there are ways to import your own characters. You can also slow things down. There's different ways that you can do this, but you can get different camera angles. You can export this to Blender and make changes there. Like I said, you can import your own character and have them do these different moves. But it's useful in the sense that I could say, I want a female figure. Let's just select this one for now. And I want her to, let's do a climb. There we go. And now I've got an animation of her climbing. Wait, she's going off panel, but we can control the camera. And we can control the angle. But we're not going to go into the weeds of importing this into Blender, anything complicated. We want easy. So I actually used OBS, which is the video capture software that I'm using right now to record this video, to capture a clip and then go back to Viggle. So let's just show the Viggle interface here. And here we have the clip that I got, which is a different character. Just captured a quick clip of climbing. I got the angle that I wanted. And then we can drag that. We can just drag and drop it into here. So now we've got that video. And let's find. And then we've got Tara. Now Tara was created using Stable Diffusion, which is an open source AI image generator, and you can do animation through it. And it's kind of a barrier to entry with it, just because the learning curve is so much, and you do need a good video card to have enough processing power to do what you need. But for image generation, it's not bad. But through a bunch of image generation and prompting, I got this character to a certain degree, but then I went into Photoshop and I did things like I painted in her hair more, I changed her outfit a little bit. Hands are always a problem, so fixing hands. And then I did different iterations for different scenes. Here she's got a belt, which in the context of Escape from Planet Omega 12, she has weapons that clip onto it. There's also a scene where she's got some blood spatter on her arm, which is for this scene. So we're just going to take that image and we're going to drag it into here. Takes a moment to load, and then we hit create. Now I've already hit create with this one. This is actually not the first time I was recording this video. So now we have this. And it already looks pretty good. Now, there's a little bit of jittering that is something that you see a lot with Viggle, but the version 3 has done a lot to calm that down. So the result itself is pretty cool already. I currently have the Viggle watermark. I'm going to subscribe to Viggle because I've been really impressed with the tests, and this is going to be a very useful tool for me animating a lot of scenes. Not every scene. We are also going to talk about another service called NIM, which is a it's its own video image generator along with other stuff. That's going to be another tutorial, but you can use some of these processes with NIM as well, because NIM is another low-cost AI video generator. It's not as powerful as some others, but if you're on a budget and you want something that you can do a lot of generations of and fix them up like we're going to do here, you can do that. So what I did here was, let's see. No, that's the wrong folder. Let's just go to this folder here. So where did I download that to? Of course, this folder here. So I downloaded it and I've got her climbing out of the hatch. So we're going to make this a little smoother. And in the second part of this tutorial, I will also show you how to increase the quality and make a more consistent face with your character. Just for other examples, though, here is the older version of Viggle. And it did a pretty good job. This was that shot there. And I didn't use a high quality image for this. So even the version 2 is pretty good, but you are going to have more flexibility and more things you can do with Viggle version 3. One of the things you can do if you want to spend the money, and this gets expensive, so this is why we're doing the cheap version, is you can put it into Krea, which is another great website for cleaning up and enhancing. You can see the animation's a lot better there, a lot more high quality. Probably be even better if I, again, used a better image for this animation. So these are just tests. But Korea is good, but Korea, you're looking at $60 a month. And, until Escape from Planet Omega 12 is in picture lock and we got all our shots, I'm not shelling out for it until then. But for now, what we want to use are two free softwares. One is called Handbrake, which you may have heard of before. And let's go to handbrake.com. It's free. It's an open source video transcoder. And what's amazing about this is that not only can you get different video formats, MP4, MKV, a WebM, but you can encode for in different tabs here, different kinds of video. I'm just going to do H.264 for now, but I can also I can transform to the different frame rates. Now, if you try and take, say, a 30 frame per second video and change it to 12 frames per second in After Effects, your playback might look like some of your frames are kind of almost skipping backwards, which will make it jitter even more. High quality video upscalers like Topaz can handle this without that problem. And but Handbrake, if you don't want to shell out for Topaz, can also do this for you. So I'm making this, I want my final output video to be 24 frames a second, and I want it to be nice and smooth. So I'm actually going to change this video to 12 frames per second, because 12 is half of 24. And again, the reason I'm doing this is to smooth out the motion, and then to also have it at 24 frames a second. So Handbrake won't smooth it out for you, but I'll show you how you will. So anyway, I'm in my folder where I want my video, by the way, and I'm just going to right-click up here, highlight this, and copy this link. So we can browse and we can tell Viggle by pasting it in here and hitting this arrow which folder we want to export it to. And I'm also going to just name this so it doesn't overwrite the other file, because it won't let you do that, to 12 FPS frames per second, so that we know that which video is at 12 frames a second. And then we're just going to hit start, and it's done already. There you go. So now you have a video of her climbing. It's even more jittery. It's kind of got that Into the Spider-Verse look. If you're familiar with animation, the difference between animating on 1s and 2s, right now it's animating on 2s, so it's a little bit more jittery. Even more jittery than before. But now we're going to open up, and I will leave links to all of this in the description. FlowFrames, this is the page for FlowFrames, and you can donate to this person. I don't think they're making this open source, but if you donate money to their Patreon, you can get more updates on FlowFrames. But for now, we're just going to use the free version here, which you can see I've already been playing around with for the previous video. So here, you just hit Browse Video. And then you paste in where you want to get your video from. And so there's our 12 frames per second. So it's loaded it, and you can see here where it says output, FPS, and speed. It's already knows that your original video is 12 frames per second, and it's doubling it up times 2 for 24 frames per second. You can actually double up like 10 times if you wanted 120 frames per second. But we're just going to go for the traditional cinema quality 24 frames per second, because these days there are a lot more opportunities for independent films to show in theaters, and theaters show at 24 frames per second. You can also slow it down, but we're going to leave it at normal speed, and then we're just going to hit interpolate. So that'll take a few moments, and you can see it doing its work here. It's created a folder where it's creating frames. Again, 24 frames per second, that's cinema quality. You can show in cinemas. You can also show, like my first film, which is The Quantum Terror. You could take it to an outlet like Film Hub, where they can put your movie up on a sales platform and get you on a video on demand platforms. Like mine is on Tubi Amazon Prime and Apple TV, among other video-on-demand platforms, because I sold through FilmHub. And I'll leave a link to that in the description if you're a filmmaker who wants to try that avenue. But if you feel you've created something that would screen well in a theater, try that first, because being in the theater is awesome, and crowds showing up to your movie, what's better than that? But anyway, so now we've got this. It's 24 frames per second, and there's a lot less jitter. Now, the quality of the animation is still, let's see. Let's go into properties. So we've got, can I make this bigger? No, I can't. So we've got 24 frames per second, but our size is, let's see. Our details. Our frame width is 1280 by 720, which is not bad. It's not quite HD, which is 1080 by 1080 by 1920. Excuse me. Lose my voice when I do these videos for too long. So in the second part of this, we are going to learn to upscale this video. And if you have a very consistent look for your character, the consistent face, I'm going to show you how to swap out the face so your character has the same face every time. Anyway, that's it. I'm losing my voice. Thanks for hanging in there. Please subscribe and like this. Leave a comment if you've got questions. If you're anti-AI and, have things to say about that, I really don't want to hear about it. I've heard all the arguments, and most people who are anti-AI have no idea what they're talking about. There's a lot of work behind creating quality content using AI as a tool, and it is not the tool for everything. Escape from Planet Omega 12 will incorporate puppets and miniatures. We're going practical effects. It will use traditional VFX methods, including 3D scans of practical effects stuff. And it'll even use some traditional animation. These are tools, and we're looking to create something that no one has ever seen before. If you're not interested in something new, then just go and check out things that are old, I guess. But we're heading into the future, and, yes, there are pitfalls. Yes, there are conversations to be had, but a lot of the AI argument is not valid, in my opinion. And, I'd even say beyond my opinion, beyond objective fact, which I do explore in my Substack, and the Christopher Moonlight Production YouTube channel. Anyway, thanks for hanging in there. Tara is looking great, climbing out of nothing, but we're going to show you how at some point we get to this. I should have done this before. I did this in the last video, which I messed up. But yeah, this is the goal here, and this is the version 2 Tara from Viggle. So we'll be replacing this with the version 3, the upscaled version. And also talking about using other AI programs to get camera moves and things like flowing water. When it's the right time to use AI to animate your scenery, and when you can actually use After Effects to create environments where you can create a camera. And anyway, we'll get to all that. Plus, when you subscribe to this video or this YouTube channel, it's not just about tutorials. We're also going to be showing you scenes from the movie. And at some point, we will be debuting the first part. Not all the parts, because we're hoping to get the finished movie into theaters. So thanks for checking this out. Please subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you on the next one.